When we think of medieval England, we imagine castles, knights, kings, and great battles. But behind the stone walls and shining armor, there was another world, a world of secrets. Hidden power struggles, deadly diseases, brutal punishments, and a society divided by strict class systems. This is the story of the secrets of medieval England. The medieval period in England lasted roughly from 1066 to 1485. It began with the Norman Conquest and ended with the rise of the Tudors. At the top of society stood the king. After the Battle of Hastings, William the Conqueror introduced a new system called feudalism. Under feudalism, land was the key to power. The king owned all land. He granted land to powerful lords in exchange for loyalty and military service. Those lords controlled knights, and at the bottom were peasants. Most people in medieval England were peasants. They worked the land from sunrise to sunset. In return, they received protection and a small place to live. Life was hard. Food was basic: bread, vegetables, and sometimes meat. Homes were simple wooden huts with thatched roofs. There was little privacy, little comfort, and little chance to change your social status. But medieval England was not just about hardship. It was also an age of castles. Castles were not only homes for nobles, they were symbols of power. Stone fortresses dominated the landscape. One of the most famous is the Tower of London. Built by William the Conqueror, it served as a royal palace, prison, and fortress. Castles allowed rulers to control the population and defend territory. But inside castle walls, politics could be just as dangerous as war. Betrayal was common. Plots and conspiracies were whispered in royal courts. Kings feared rebellion from their own nobles. One secret of medieval England was how unstable power could be. In 1215, King John faced rebellion from his barons. They forced him to sign a document known as the Magna Carta. For the first time, a king's power was limited by law. This was a quiet revolution. It planted the early seeds of constitutional government. Another secret was how powerful the church was. The Catholic Church dominated spiritual and political life. People believed deeply in heaven and hell. The church owned vast lands and influenced kings. Disagreeing with the church could lead to imprisonment or worse. Religion shaped every part of daily life. Then there was disease. In 1348, the Black Death arrived in England. It killed nearly 1/3 of the population. Villages were abandoned. Labor became scarce. For the first time, peasants could demand higher wages. The plague secretly weakened the rigid feudal system. It shifted power in unexpected ways. Justice in medieval England was harsh. Punishments were public and brutal. Thieves could lose hands. Traitors could face execution. Public executions were meant to send a message. Fear maintained order. But medieval England was also an age of culture and change. Gothic cathedrals rose high into the sky. Universities like Oxford and Cambridge expanded learning. Trade grew in towns. A middle class slowly began to emerge. By the late medieval period, England faced civil war. The Wars of the Roses divided noble families, Lancaster against York. For decades, conflict drained the country, until finally, in 1485, Henry Tudor defeated Richard III. The medieval age ended. The Tudor era began. So what were the true secrets of medieval England? It was a world of rigid class systems, but also slow social change. A world of brutal justice, but emerging legal limits. A world ruled by kings and nobles, yet influenced by religion and rebellion. Behind the myths of knights and castles was a society struggling to survive, adapt, and evolve. Medieval England was not just dark and violent, it was a turning point. It shaped the monarchy, the law, the church, and the foundations of modern Britain. Its secrets are written in stone castles, ancient documents, and historic streets that still stand today. Medieval England may be centuries behind us, but its influence still echoes in the present.